Yo, obviously the big news today is Edu's leaving Arsenal. So I'm just gonna go straight into it and do a quick all of his signings and do a quick yes or no whether they've been successful, either a cross or a tick. That's how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna just go straight into it. Yeah, because I know a lot of people kind of dissecting Edu in, Edu out, if he's been a good, he's been successful or not. Um, but I'm just gonna go into whether his signings have been successful, and then maybe another video I can do whether or not he's been successful or not, because there's a lot of context you got to add to a certain few things. So let me just get straight into it, man. Like, because I've done a little bit of research. He's signed 36 players since he's been in the role that he's been at Arsenal. Yeah. So the first one is Alex Ronaldo. Yeah. Um, I'm gonna say cross. Yeah. So not successful for Alex Ronaldo. That's what I'm gonna say. He didn't really play that many games for us. I don't know. Maybe he signed him like to be a squad player. Maybe I don't really know what the reasons were, Sam Ronison, but that's a no to me. Yeah, I should need to get a pen and paper to write yes on how many yeses. But furthermore, I'm gonna get a pen and paper. How many yeses and how many nos? Yeah. So that's one no. Cool. Nicolas Pepe, 72 million. Now, obviously, Pepe's a good player. We know that, but for the price tag, it's gonna have to be no. He didn't succeed at Arsenal, did he? Even though he's doing a lot better, he did a lot better than a lot of other people's 100 million signings, 80 million signings, and 70 million signings. When you look at GA, but my standard and what I believe for 72 million, that is a no. Yeah, but I'm being very harsh on Pepe, so that's two no's. Yeah. Next one, Austin Trusty. I don't even know where my man is. I don't know. That's the same as another Runnison to me. So Austin Trusty is a no. Willian, one of the most irritating players for me that we've ever had at the club, and we couldn't even get rid of him because of his high wages. So again, that's four no's. Marquinhos. It's a bit harsh for me to say yes or no right now because he hasn't finished his career, but I'm doing it right now, and that right now is what we're doing. So he's a no. Five no's. Neto. Now, it's quite hard for me to judge Neto because he's coming as a backup to David Raya. Obviously, we got rid of Ramsdale, and Neto was quite good last year at Bournemouth and stuff like that. So for now, I'm gonna have to say yes. I'm gonna have to give him a yes because he hasn't shown me any reason to be no. Matthew Ryan, again, another goalkeeper. I mean, successful, not successful as a signing. Not everyone's signed to be the best player in the world. So, but right now, I'm gonna say no. Made you look think I was gonna say yes, innit? Nah. Matt Turner, again, the same for me as a Matt Ryan or a Runnison. Again, has to be another no. So right now we're on 7 no's and 1 yes. Yeah. Next one, Pablo Mari. He played a few games for us. He meant to have a little bit of quality, that passing range and stuff like that. I personally think that was more of an Arteta signing. I mean, all Arteta signings, first and foremost, all Arteta signings. But again, that's a no. Yeah, that's a no. Sambi Lokonga had a good spell at Luton last year. That's for certain. But for Arsenal, has to be a no. I mean, I'm not taking into context these guys' price tags, because really and truly, I should take into context their price tags with your a success for your price tag or not. But I'm just going on the player, whether you're, to me, whether you can help us get over the line and win the league and win Champions League. So you're a good squad player at the bare minimum. Nah, not Lokonga. Even though I think he's okay, but if you were to ask me, do I want to keep Lokonga or sell him? I'm probably more likely to sell him. I don't mind him. I'm probably more likely to sell him. No Tavares. No. So far that's 10 no's and 1 yes. Yeah? No Tavares. Cedric. Cedric, I mean, he helped us. I'm gonna have to say yes to Cedric. The reason why I'm gonna say yes to Cedric, I'm not gonna say he was successful at Arsenal, but I think we signed him for free, and I think he was part of he started to become part of the coaching team and stuff. But he filled out a lot of the time when we needed him to. And you can't underestimate squad players that are happy to play the role. You know, like how El Neni was for us. I can't say an El Neni was an unsuccessful signing because he helped out our team when we needed him to, and he was a squad player. You need squad players that know their position, that stay on the bench, that are not bad eggs in the dressing room. So that's why I'm going to say Cedric, yes, because of we didn't sign him for 20, 30 million. If we signed him for 30 million, then no, but we didn't. So that's why I say I'm not going to take the how much we paid for them and stuff like that, but I guess I have to. So Cedric, I'm going to say yes. Kivio, that's the same thing as a Cedric to me. So right now, Kivio, I can't say he's a no. I mean, he again, are you a squad player or are we judging him based on he has to be take us over the line, or is he one of the best players in the world? So for me, again, I'm gonna have to say yes as a successful signing because Kivio can't be a no when he's still helping us out to right now. So Kivio has to be a yes. David Luiz, again, tricky again. Like the difference is between a David Luiz and a Kivio for me is that David Luiz I don't think was signed to be. He's quite signed to be a squad player, but I don't think he was signed to be a bench player. Whereas Kivio is, I think David Luiz is signed to be a starting player. So that's the difference. So that's why David Luiz to me has to be a no. You get it, even though he was still helping us out a lot of the time, but he has to be a non-successful signing for me. Kind of like a Willian. Willian is not Willian. If you sign Willian on high wages and he's performing how he's performing, and you can't get rid of him and like that, he has to be a no, innit? So David Luiz has to be a no. Danny Ceballos, same thing. Like, what are we signing these guys with the intention to do? Are we signing Ceballos with the intention to be like a like a like a Jorginho type player, or are we signing Ceballos to help with the first team and be one of our main starting players? I personally think Ceballos was meant to be one of those. Like we thought we did the same thing with Odegaard, where you sign a player from was it Real Madrid we got him from, and then he's you think we we got a steal here. Yeah, he's gonna come and nah. So he is a no. Fabio Vieira, again, same thing. The standards are the same. Like, is Fabio Vieira a squad coming as a squad player, or is he coming in as a player that we feel like can push the first team? If he's coming in as a direct and utter squad player to just stay in the team and like an El Neni, for example, like I said, then I can say I can accept it. But I don't think he was. I think Fabio Vieira was again a player that we thought was doing really well at Porto, and was like, oh yeah, he's good. We found we've got one of their best players, and I think he was like 30 or 40 million or something like that. So he is a definite no. And the fact that we've even loaned him back now is even more of a no. Kieran Tierney. His injury record alone. As a player, he's good enough, but his injury record alone is not good. Has Kieran Tierney been a successful signing? I mean, he's a good player, but he can't have been a successful signing. I know there's a lot of people that are going to be like, Kieran Tierney is a wicked player, man. He should have been. He was only one of our only players on that, but that doesn't mean anything to me. Kieran Tierney was meant to be. He's too injury prone. Like if you sign a player that's injured every minute of the day, and we signed him for quite a lot of money, and he was meant to be the main player from Celtic, and so he has to be no to me. I mean, he was a good player, but he has to be no. So that's not a successful signing to me. So far we are on 14 no's and 3 yeses. I'm being a bit harsh on some of the players like the Tierneys and people like that, but is what it is. Like I've got to say yes or no, haven't I? So Raheem Sterling. Has Raheem Sterling so far been a successful signing? Like it's hard to judge it 10 games into the season, 11 games into the season. And Sterling's on loan. He's on highway. We're paying half of his wages or something like that. So I can't say that that's an unsuccessful signing. Like so far to be a squad player, because he's definitely coming as a squad player. So if I would say if we sign Sterling for 40 million, 50 million, I would say unsuccessful. But he's coming as a squad player. He's accepted that. Up to now, I've not heard he's a bad egg, and we're not even paying all his wages, and we haven't paid any loan fee. So he has to be a successful signing. So I'm going to say yes. So we're 14-3. So 14 no's and no 14-4. 14 no's on 4 yeses. Mikel Merino. Again, hard for me to judge it right now to say has he been a successful signing, but he had a bad performance against Bournemouth, good performance against Liverpool, not so great against Newcastle. So, but he's obviously around the first team. He's meant to be playing in the team. So I can't quite say he's an unsuccessful signing yet. So for at the time that we're at right now, after the Newcastle game, I have to say yes, because he's part of our team. I mean, it might change by the end of the season, but right now I have to say yes, he's not an unsuccessful signing. So we're at 14 no's and 5 yeses. Aaron Ramsdale. Was Ramsdale a successful signing? Tricky. I mean, was Ramsdale a successful signing by Edu? And I'm gonna have to say, I mean, I haven't rated Ramsdale. I've never rated Ramsdale, but we challenged with the league with him, and we got a lot of money for him. So but he didn't work out at the end of the day. He didn't work out. So is he successful because he was playing well and we got a lot of money for him and we challenged for the title with him, or is he unsuccessful because he didn't work out and clearly we needed a better keeper? So clearly, if you need a better keeper, it didn't work out, innit? You have to run with that. You can't be a successful signing, really. So I'm gonna say no. So we're 15 no's and 5 yeses, and I'm being harsh, but this is just how I see it, innit? Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu is a brilliant defender. I mean, I think he's the most underrated, one of the most underrated players in the Premier League, and I feel like he's so injury prone. We can't even the rest of other fan bases, other rival teams' fan bases can't even see how good he is. When we say Tomiyasu, people are like, "What are you talking about Tomiyasu? I don't care about him," but we can't show him off because he's always injured. So all now, yes, he's been a good signing because we need that, but he's always injured. Like, he's always injured, so I can't give him as a successful signing. Like, you're injured all the time. You're a good player, but you're always injured. It's the same as Tierney. Like, so I have to say no. Harsh, but it is what it is. Zinchenko, definite yes. Like, even sometimes when Zinchenko's a liability at the back and defending, but to me, he's always creating. He's always like passionate. He's there. He's challenged the title with him. He's changed the inverted role is called the Zinchenko role, and I feel like a lot of the time it's easy to scapegoat Zinchenko, but we miss him in a lot of games, especially against teams where you got to unlock. We really do miss that guy. So I'm gonna say yes to Zinchenko. He's been a successful signing. Gabriel Jesus. He hasn't been a successful signing to get us to win the Premier League right now, but is he a successful signing to help us win the Premier League? Would I think that he's the reason why we didn't win it? Potentially if he's starting, but as a squad player, I feel like he's a good squad player. So I'm gonna have to say yes, he's a successful signing, Gabriel Jesus, even though we need better, but I'm gonna have to say yes for that. So right now we're at 16 no's and 7 yeses. Urian Timber, easy yes. I don't even care if he was injured or not. Don't care. I'm not even getting into explaining Timber. Yes. Calafiori, again, yes. Like, not quite as strong as Timber though, because Calafiori, he's not as good a defender as Timber, but he's a good player. So I'm gonna say yes to Calafiori. Jorginho, again, yes. Like, Jorginho's been one of the main people behind the scenes, which is what I know, behind the scenes, that helps a lot with the coaching staff and helps a lot. And he's a captain, isn't he? He's probably going to go into management. There's no substitute for experience and know-how and winning mentality. Not only that, I think it was a free transfer, wasn't it? And when he does play, most of the time he's our best player on the pitch. The only reason we don't play him is because of Partey. So Jorginho's a definite yes, which makes it 16-10. I'm not even sure if I put Jorginho down already, so it might be 16-9, 16-10. I'm gonna go 16-10, but can't remember whether I put him down already. But Yeah, Jorginho is a definite yes, especially for price we got him. Trossard again, yes. Trossard is a yes. So Trossard has to be a yes because he's had a few. He's annoying me at the minute. He's annoying me at the minute, but he's doing a lot of um clutch moments and goals at the right time and stuff like that. That's what Trossard does. And Trossard, he he came in January, I remember, and we were looking up for Mudryk. And Trossard, when he came in, he made us feel like we didn't need Mudryk anymore. Like we got like, oh, we were lucky we didn't buy 100 million for Mudryk when we only bought Trossard for however much we bought him for. I know it was a lot less than 100 million. So he's a yes. So we're on 16-11 all of a sudden. I thought it was way less than that. It might even be 16-10 because of the Jorginho one. I can't remember. Which was like Thomas Partey, easy yes. All now, when people are moaning about him, and people were saying we should have got rid of him in the summer. I remember people saying, "Oh, you should get rid of Thomas Partey, man. He's injury prone, this and that." You can't get rid of Partey. Without Partey, I don't know what we'll be doing this season. That's why I'm so annoyed that he wasn't playing in the middle of the pitch against Newcastle. He's a dictator of the game. So I think against Chelsea, he'll be in the middle of the pitch. But yeah, Partey is definitely yes. David Raya, easy yes. That's not even a debate. He is a lot better than I realized. My brother's been saying for ages, let's go and get Raya, let's go and get Raya, let's go and get Raya, for about 2 seasons ago. And I was saying, I ain't seen anything about what's so good about him. Boy, was I wrong. Raya is incredible. Brilliant goalkeeper. Comes and collects everything. He's short, so I don't really like short goalkeepers, but he's proven me wrong. It's just about positioning. You go and get the ball in a minute. If he keeps at this level for the next couple of seasons, he'll be Edison Allison levels. Raya is absolutely brilliant. And a lot of the time his kicking is incredible. Like, I thought I'd seen the best kicking. Like when I see Edison kick and stuff like that, I thought, yeah, your kicking is brilliant. His kicking is, if not as good, man. Like he is incredible, right, with his distribution. So definite yes for me. We're up to Kai Havertz again. Has to be a yes. He shocked a lot of people, Kai Havertz. Like a lot of people. 65 million, but that 65 million doesn't look so expensive anymore. The issue we got with 65 million with Kai Havertz is more, do we buy a striker now? That's more the issue. For the fact that we're even having that question, like I'm still on the yes, buy a striker, which means Havertz will go to the bench. But Havertz is the one that's, before it was Jesus or Havertz. That's not a question anymore. That is not a question anymore. So for me, yes, it has to be, Havertz is a definite yes. So now what are we at? Did I put it down? I can't remember if I put it down or not. We are, yeah, I did. I think I did put it down. We are 16-14. But Havertz is a definite yes. Benjamin White. Definite yes. Mr. Steady Eddie. Steady Eddie. Like he is the most underrated right back in the whole Premier League as far as I'm concerned. Like that's the reason why we're not even creating as much, because Ben White's over. This is why Martinelli gets so much disrespect, but he has no overlapping fullback. You can't underestimate an overlapping fullback. Ben White, his timing of his runs, his passes, his defending, he plays 8 every game. Solid. That's a Ben White thing. Hey, even against Liverpool when he plays centre back, again, you don't notice Ben White. He's never in the media. He's not making no big issues. He doesn't even watch football. Like he says, Benjamin White is exactly the type of player you want in your team. Definite yes, he's a successful signing for Eddie. Gabriel Martinelli. He's getting a lot of stick at the minute. But the reason, and a lot of stick doesn't mean that he's not a successful signing. And also, a lot of stick. Also, you have to remember, he's still our starting left midfielder, our best left midfielder at one of the biggest clubs in the world. And is he performing to the level that we need? Can we improve on him? Of course, we can improve on him. And right now, that's probably part of the reason why we're not winning. Haven't won the league. But is he a successful signing? Of course he is. I think he was only 5 million as well. I can't remember, or something like that. So Martinelli has to be a successful signing. So all of a sudden, we are 16-all. All of a sudden. Next one, Gabriel Magalhaes. I mean, do I even have to go into big Gabby at the centre back? I ain't going into that. That's guaranteed, isn't it? That's an easy one, isn't it? Gabi Magalhaes, one of the best centre backs in the world right now. Easy, successful signing. Like, you buy a player for, I don't even know how much, I can't remember how much he was. Let's imagine he was 10, 15, 20 million, maybe probably less than that. And right now he's a £100 million player. If you're going to sell Gabi now, you're not going to sell him less than 80 to 100 million. So easy, yes. Declan Rice, come on, easy, yes. That's no debate. Declan Rice is world class. I'm not hearing no, he's not world class shouts. And again, another Benjamin White in the middle of the pitch. And he hasn't even been playing in his best position. When he moves to 6, you'll start to see the best of Declan Rice. A lot of people say he can't pass forward and this and that. That's fine, but there's two sides of the game. And we're seeing that right now with Chelsea, with Lavia. Because Lavia is brilliant on the ball, but off the ball, he's not so great on it. And people are running through that Chelsea midfield. Declan Rice, you're not running through Arsenal midfield with Rice in there. Doesn't happen. Yes, he's not the greatest on the ball. And yes, he's not a Rodri on the ball. That's fine. But he's not an unsuccessful signing. So I don't care how much we paid for him. Could have been 200 million. Declan Rice is brilliant. He's world class. That's my guy. William Saliba. I'm not going into that. We all know that's a yes. You know what I'll put down. Apart from Van Dijk, as far as I'm concerned, William Saliba is the best centre back in the world after Van Dijk. Simple. That's how it goes. A lot of Arsenal fans were saying we bought the wrong centre back. They wanted Fofana when they were both at St Etienne together, and they were like, "Oh, why we bought the wrong centre back?" Because Fofana was doing his thing at Leicester, and then we loaned out Saliba, and everyone was like, "Oh man, we bought the wrong centre back." Now look, night and day. I don't know. They don't. You have to not listen to most of these Arsenal fans, man. Not these online YouTube Arsenal fans, bro. Trust me. I know I'm one of them now, but I'm a different version. You get me? Can't listen to these guys, man. They don't know. They think they know more than the club. They think they know more than everyone. They don't. William Saliba, yes. Last one, 36, number 36. Our captain, Martin Odegaard. The same Odegaard that everyone in our fan base was saying, we don't want Odegaard. We bought him for 30 million or 35 million. We don't want Martin Odegaard. We want Buendia. Remember that? We don't want Odegaard. We want James Maddison. Remember all that? Remember all of that stuff that they were saying? Oh, this is what I'm saying. You got a ready-made player in Maddison over there, and you got Buendia over there. You don't think you know everything. Martin Odegaard for 30 odd million is probably the steal of the last decade. Like, I don't even know what's going on. He's like, Odegaard is easily world class, easily our tempo setter. Not only is he our tempo setter, he's our captain. Do you know what buying a captain means? You bought a player that can now lead the charge with your club. Everyone always thinks about what happens on the pitch. How about what happens off the pitch? Odegaard is the reason why half of the youngsters, apparently Odegaard is the mentor to a lot of these youngsters. Odegaard is always doing the right thing, always there. He was 15 when he went to Real Madrid, 15 years old. Left his family, left his friends, went there to go and pursue his dreams. There's no substitute for characters like that. No substitute. So all of a sudden, Edu's signings, all 36 signings, we've got 20 yes and 16 no. So now the argument would be, oh, but there's too many no's. Oh yeah, in the ideal world, yeah. But like me and my cousin, I was on the phone to my cousin earlier. Shout out Dean, and we were talking about investment. You know, when you want to invest in something. Now, if you had 20 opportunities or 20 businesses that you wanted to invest in, and one of them worked, you only need one of them to work for you to get to where you need to get to. You don't need all 20 to work. That's what investment is. You invest, and you know you're going to get some losses and you're going to get some wins. He's had 36 signings, and 20 of them have been yeses. And this is just my take. So he clearly has had more yeses than no's. That's the first thing. The second thing is, not only has he had more yeses than no's, but some of these yeses trump all of his no's. Like Martin Odegaard, William Saliba. I'm not going to say people like Declan Rice because they're 100 million, but Odegaard, like I'm going to talk about the steals. Odegaard, Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, even Martinelli for 5 million or whatever it was, and say a Yuri and Timber. All of those trump all the no's that you have. Because you've already picked you've already got 6 or 7 of a first team that can challenge for a title, that we all believe can challenge for a title. So when I'm seeing a lot of these Edu's gone, yeah, it's brilliant, it's good, brilliant. That's all well and good. But has he done a good job? You're gonna have to say so far he has to have done a good job. You can't say he hasn't done a good job when you're plucking out Odegaards, you're plucking out Salibas, you're plucking out Gabriels. Can't say he hasn't done a good job. I haven't even added in the Declan Rice or Ben White or Trossard or Partey. I haven't added them in because they were a bit more established than already know. I'm talking about the gems. No one was thinking about Odegaard. When Odegaard was at our team, he was on loan. Even then, the Arsenal fan base were like, "Oh, should we sign him permanently? Maybe not, maybe not," because they weren't seeing what happens behind the scenes. They don't know what happened behind the scenes at the training ground. Now we haven't had Odegaard for a few games. We're all realizing, oh Jesus, without Odegaard, we are not the same team. All Arsenal fans ever do is say, "Oh, he doesn't score enough, or he doesn't assist enough, or he needs to shoot more." Nice. How about the everything else that he does when we can't even play football right now without him? He is by far and away our most important player. I had this argument on Twitter with someone, and I was saying Odegaard's our most important player. This is about a month or 2 months ago. And he was like, "No way, nowhere near, man. Our most important player is Saliba." And that's a fair argument. And then Declan Rice, and then Saka. Odegaard is like 4th or 5th. I was like, you're crazy if you think that. Odegaard, to me, is the most important player by a country mile. Ask any rival fan, it's Odegaard that they're worried about, because Odegaard is the tempo setter. He's the most consistent tempo setter in our team. Without a tempo setter, that's like, you can see what Man City are like without Rodri. Odegaard is our tempo setter. He's our main guy that sets the tempo, that holds the ball, that dictates the whole game. There's no substitute for man that dictate the whole game. And if you compare it to the people were saying that we should have bought Buendia and Maddison, look at the difference now. Is that those arguments are finished. And he costs less. He costs less. £35 million for a captain that is 24 or something like that. Madness. So I'm not talking on New and Timber, because you're gonna just think I'm crazy because I'll start calling him world class now. And the only reason Timber's not world class is because he hasn't done it for long enough. But right now, at the level that he's playing at, easily he's playing at a world class level with ease. Timber is I don't remember a signing being so impressive a signing since I don't remember. Even when the only way that they can get through our defense is when you do like extraordinary things. Like the Trent pass was extraordinary to get over our defense. Timber wasn't even on the pitch. Like Anthony Gordon cross to Isaac, extraordinary. Like some things are just good. Like a lot of the fan base always talk about, oh yeah, but we lost to Newcastle. Yeah, but how about other teams are also able to do good things? That happens, doesn't it? It happens. But if you're gonna talk about the Edu thing, I'm feeling like it's not going to make any difference to Arteta. I think that's what most people are saying. Because if you look at the history of the Kroenkes in America, they don't really sack managers, and they stick by their processes, and they end up winning the big trophies in America in all their teams. So they don't sack managers. They give the manager like complete control, and they believe in the manager and they stick by it. They're not a hire and fire. That's not their ethos. So all of this thinking, yeah, is it going to be a problem for Arteta? It's going to make no difference to Arteta. And they're not going to bring in someone for replacement of Edu, that's going to start challenging Arteta, because you're not just challenging Arteta. That means you're going to be challenging them because they believe in Arteta wholeheartedly. So that's not going to happen either. So get out of the mindset of, yeah, we're going to get a new sporting director, and yeah, Arteta's got to figure it out. It's not going to happen. They're going to get a sporting director that's also going to fit in line with their ethos, and that's just what it's going to be. Like, there's a difference between the YouTube Arsenal fans and the football world. Do you know what I'm saying? Because in the real football world, no one is thinking about Arteta or Arteta's going or nothing like that. I'm just seeing bare all Arteta routes on YouTube for clicks. There's none of that happening in the real world. The real football world anyway, is they're not thinking about Arteta route. They're just thinking, you've had a couple bad games and that's it. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep trying to win the league, innit? That's it. It's simple. It's football. It happens. You're not going to win every single game. It's only the online YouTube fans that are getting bantered by other rival fans because they're streaming. Like, oh yeah, but you lot lost against Newcastle. Ha ha ha. Oh yeah, but you lot lost to Bournemouth. Ha ha ha. Yeah, that's so now they're bantering each other. Yeah, but Arteta needs to win. Ha ha ha. Yeah, but he hasn't won. He won one FA Cup. Blah. That's what they're doing. That's their thing. That's their back and forth thing. In the real world and the real football world, Arteta's doing a good job as far as they're concerned. He's 7 points off the table, off the lead. You've had a lot of tricky fixtures, few injuries, few red cards. Let's fix it up, focus on it, and let's get back on track. That's just how people will see it. That's just what you do. You have ups and downs in life. You have ups and downs in football, in normal things. So just get back with it, and let's just try and fix it. What do you need in January? Do you want a Semenyo? Do you want to? Shall we try and get Kudos? Shall we try and look for what is it that you need? Like, should we look for another striker to help complement Havertz, or what is it that you're looking for? That's the conversations they're having behind the scenes. Don't think that they're going to start thinking, oh yeah, Arteta, yeah, your job's on the line. It's not going to happen. And the sporting director that they bring in, if he comes in and starts trying to disrupt stuff, he'll be out. Like the Kroenkes, they don't do that. They don't bring in people that messes up the dynamics of their philosophy and their ethos. That's not what they do, and they always end up winning. Like, this is what you have to know the history of the owners. They end up getting to where they want to get to. They always do it. They winning the equivalent of the Champions Leagues and that in their respective fields. They're winning, and a few of their situations were the same as what Arsenal were. They had to take over and a building and all that. It's the same thing. That's what they do. They back their managers. So the new person that comes in is gonna have no difference to Arteta at all, man. They're just gonna have to back Arteta. If they don't back Arteta, they'll be gone. Simple as that. That's just how it will be, man. You gotta kind of just see it for what it is. And a lot of people are Arteta out in it right now. But those same people will be Arteta in if he beats Chelsea and beats them. So I don't really pay attention to that. You know what I'm saying? I only pay attention if you say it and you got some sort of basis behind it. If I hear it and I ain't got no basis, I just disregard that, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, it's 2016 to Edu's signings, all 36. So